Hello to all of you. So here I am with the next experiment, which is the verification of Ohm's law. So firstly, just let's check that what does Ohm's law actually says. Okay. So actually, the George Simon Ohm, a German physicist, he has provided the relationship between voltage and current. Okay, for an ideal conductor. Okay, so that law is basically called Ohm's law. So it states that the potential difference or the voltage across an ideal conductor is proportional to the current through it. Okay, provided all physical conditions like temperature and pressure remains constant. Okay, this is necessary that temperature and pressure and other factors should remain constant. Okay, so if you'll see the law, it says that V is proportional to I. So we can say V is equal to IR. Here R is the constant of proportionality, that is called resistance. Okay, or if you'll just state this Ohm's law in other word, you could also state it that the current through a conductor between 2 points is directly proportional to the voltage across the 2 points. Okay, and is inversely proportional to the resistance between them, provided all physical conditions remains constant. So this could be given as I is directly proportional to V and I is inversely proportional. I is directly proportional to 1 by R, or I is inversely proportional to R. So we can see I is equal to V by R, or V is equal to IR. So this is what basically the Ohm's law speaks. Okay, so we will verify this Ohm's law by multisim. Okay, so we will use a simple circuit. Just take a voltage source with two resistor or three resistor. Okay, and we will check here the output. So here in the multisim, I'm going to firstly take the power source here. Take a DC simple power. Okay, take a ground also. Now we'll take a resistor. Okay, suppose take 1 kilo ohm resistor and take one 500 ohm resistor. Okay, so done. We are not going to use much component. Okay, by the help of these components simply we will derive the Ohm's law. So I will just rotate this thing clockwise, connect the wire here. Okay, so our V is present, our R is present. So for checking the I, we will use a multimeter from here. So the positive side of multimeter would be connected here and the negative side to this point. So here, since I have connected this multimeter in series, so I'm going to use this multimeter as my ammeter. Okay, I have clicked on this A, and here already DC has been chosen by default. So we are ready for the experiment. So just run this thing. When you will run the circuit, just see here we are getting around 8 milliampere of current. Okay, so now for Ohm's law, what we need to do now, we need to vary this voltage. Okay, this V1 voltage, we will vary it from 0, since the maximum voltage we have taken to be 12 volts, so let it be 12 volt. So we will vary the voltage from 0 to 12. Okay, or suppose we will just vary it from 0 to suppose 5. Okay, and run this thing. Okay, so we will vary this voltage V1 voltage from 0 to 5 volt or 10 volt or 12 volt, whatever the circuit would be. Okay, here I have just made an experimental circuit only. Okay, and we will take the value of current here from the multimeter for every different value of V. Okay, so what we have to do actually here, in this notepad I will explain you. What you have to do, you have to just make a column. Okay, make a column for R. Okay, then make a column for V. Okay, and then make a column for I. Okay, since R is always same. Okay, do not change the value of R. Okay, while doing the experiment. Okay, because if you will change the value of R here now, then for every different case of R, you will get a different value of I. Okay, and in that case you will not be able to verify this Ohm's law. Okay, so for doing Ohm's law, we are not going to change the value of R. R means R equivalent. Since we have used two resistance, so R equivalent would be my R. Okay, here 1 kilo ohm and 500 ohm is in series. So the my R equivalent or R is 1.5 kilo ohm. Okay, so just don't change the value of R. Okay, value of V would be changed every time. Okay, so here what you can do is after the value of this V, under the value of V, just write here 0 volt. Okay, and then afterwards here the value of I, whatever the value of I, just write here. Since voltage is 0, so I would be also 0. Okay, 0 ampere. Now just change the value of V here. Okay, again in the multisim, suppose by in a step of 0.5 volt, just change the voltage, just choose here 0.5 volt and just check that what is the current. Okay, when the voltage is 0.5 volt, suppose here in the multisim, just change the value here. Okay, since at 0 I already know that this current should be 0, so just check here at 0 volt. Yeah, the current here is 0 ampere. So when you will change the value of voltage to 0.5 volt, just check here what is the value of volt current which you are getting. It is around 333.333 microampere. Okay, so here you could write 333 microampere. Okay, or you could write it in milliampere. You could write here 0.3 milliampere. Okay, you could write that thing there. Okay, simply just use backspace button, use zero point 0.3 milliampere. Okay, here you can write it there. Okay, so by changing the values of this voltage every time, you will get different value of current here, and that value you have to note down. Okay, and then you have to plot. Okay, this I versus V. Okay, you will get a chart, and if you are getting a graph which is linear, then that proves that the V and I is proportional. Okay, so by checking that graph, you can say that yes, our Ohm's law is verified for this circuit. Okay, since here the pressure and other external factors are constant, so no need to worry about this thing. Since we are doing this experiment in virtual mode, so we are not going to get any wrong data here. Okay, basically now since I have given you one method that you have to change the value of this V1 every time. Okay, so but for changing the value of V1 every time and then again taking here the data and then writing it in the notepad or wherever in any other kind of text editor, it would be really a tough task. So you could use a different trick here. We could just replace this DC voltage, okay, by some DC interactive voltage source. Okay, here I have chosen DC interactive voltage source. Okay, so what happens in DC interactive voltage source now? Here it has provided a key. The name of key is A. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you about this thing. I have double clicked on this thing. So this DC interactive voltage source maximum value is 10 volt, which you can change. The minimum value is 0. So actually this DC interactive voltage source value would range from 0 to 10 volt. Okay, with an increment of 5% every time when you are going to press the key A. Okay, this means then that whenever I am going to press the key A, the value of this DC voltage source is going to increase automatically. Okay, by the increment of 5%. You can change the value of key here. Okay, by A, B, C, D. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, you could change the maximum value or minimum value also here. Suppose I am going to choose the key here C. Okay, click on this OK button. So here my key is C. Okay, and here currently this voltage source is giving 5 volt. So just range this color to here 0 volt. Okay, now this thing is in 0 volt. Okay, and just run this circuit. So at 0 volt we are seeing that we are getting 0 ampere of current. Okay, now we can increase here the value of C. Okay, C, sorry, this V1. Okay, so for that thing, I'm just going to press here key C. Okay, the C button of my keyboard, I am pressing that thing only. Okay, so I pressed one time and it has increased the voltage to 0.5 volt. Okay, as we already know that from ranging from 0 to 10 volt, if you'll get 10%, the 10% would be around, yeah, zero point 0.5 volt. Okay, so it is increasing by the value of zero point 0.5 volt. So at zero point 0.5 volt, just see here the value of current is 0.3 milliampere or 333 microampere. This thing already I have noted down here, okay, in the notepad here. So you could again use the press key C. Okay, when I'm again pressing this key C, the value of voltage here increased to 1 volt. Okay, and here the current increased to 666 microampere. Okay, or zero point 0.6 milliampere, we can say this thing. Okay, so by using this DC interactive voltage source here, by again pressing key C of my keyboard, I am going to change the value of voltage, and easily we are getting different values of current here. So this is other way to find the values of I, okay, for different values of voltage here. Okay, now we could do another thing also. Okay, we could just use here a DC sweep. Okay, in the DC sweep, what we get, we simply have to put the data, the variables there, and we get whole of the value of current for different value of voltage for whichever range we are needing it. Okay, so for that thing, just first remove this DC interactive voltage. So okay, as DC sweep is working on simple voltage source here, so I'm going to replace here the DC voltage source here by simple DC power. Okay, suppose this is my simple DC power source here. Okay, and here the multimeter XMM1 is there. Here multimeter is not required while we are doing the DC sweep here. Okay, only simple circuit is going to be required. Okay, so how actually this works? Okay, so just see here this run button. Whenever you are going to press the run button now, or from the menu bar, if you are going to run this thing or simulate this thing, okay, what happens? Whatever option has been chosen here, okay, this multisim will give you the output in that part. So here interactive has been chosen, so it will give you directly the interactive voltages or current here. Okay, so we are going to change here the this value. Okay, so just see here in this analysis and simulation part, we are going to use the DC sweep. Okay, so we are going to use here DC sweep. So when we are going to use DC sweep, this multisim is asking me that which parameters you are going to analyze for which parameter. So we are going to use here voltage one. We are going to use here only one voltage source. So here's the voltage V1 is only you can see. Okay, if we are going to use two or three different voltage, it will show here those different voltage also here. Okay, so our source is V1. Okay, so here the start value or minimum value of this voltage is 0 and stop value or the maximum value is 1. So I will just change it. I'll make it suppose 5 volt. Okay, so this DC sweep will increase the value of voltage from 0 volt to 5 volt with an increment of zero point 0.5 volt. Okay, or you could change this value also. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, so after doing this thing, just go on the output part. What are the variables which are needing to get the output? Okay, so here the variables in the circuit which currently we are having, it is given here. Okay, so IR1, IR2, IV1, PR1, these things are given. IR1 is the current through R1, IR2 is the current through R2. Okay, so similarly PR1 is the power through R1. Okay, so these things are given here. Okay, so since this circuit is a simple one and we have connected both the resistance in series, so the current through this R1 and R2 is be same because in the series circuit current doesn't change. Okay, so we can choose here IR1 or IR2, it's up to you. Okay, so here I am going to choose this IR1. Click on this add button. Okay, when I have chosen this add button, this IR1 comes here. Okay, because this is the part where selected variables are being analyzed. Okay, so we here I have chosen IR1. I have already chosen the analysis parameter v1. Okay, so I'm just going to run this thing. So when we are going to run this thing, it will just do the whole of the part which we were doing earlier. Okay, and it will take all the data from 0 volt to 5 volt with the increment of 5 volt here. Okay, and it will take the current through R1. Okay, just run this thing. Just see here, when I have run this thing, we have got a graph here. Okay, so this is the graph with black formatting. Okay, background is black, so we are going to just change this thing here by clicking on this button. Okay, now this background is white. Okay, so it looks good here. So just see here, below here the x-axis is the voltage v1. Okay, and here the current is in present in the y-axis. Okay, and here we can see here these triangles are the data which multisim has chosen. Okay, when it has increased the voltage by zero point 0.5 volt step. Okay, so at 0 volt it has taken one data, that is 0 current, and here also it has taken the data. Okay, at zero point 0.5 volt, at 1 volt, at 1.5 volt, 2 volt, 2.5 volt, you can see here this data has been present by this thing. Okay, so we can just see here that this data is at present at 4.5 volt. Okay, so here this one is showing us the current. Okay, but it is showing us the axis data present here only. Okay, so if we want, we can use the data which has been used by this multisim for plotting. Okay, for that thing, just we will export the data which has been analyzed by the multisim. Okay, we can just analyze this thing by exporting the whole data to Excel. Just click on this button. Okay, just see here. This one is export to Excel, and this one would be for measurement. Yeah, this one is to be for measurement file. So since we need to make a graph of these output data, so we'll just export this to Excel. Just see here in the trace. Yes, I am going to choose here only IR1 as I has chosen IR1 firstly. So here no other traces are being present here. Just click on this OK button. Click on the OK, and here one Excel file would open. So here, just see here. Yeah, this Excel file has been present. Yeah, this Excel file has been presented by this multisim data. So here you could see here. I'm just going to increase the width of these columns. So this one is the X trace, okay, or the X axis, which are the voltage. Okay, so here you could rename this thing. You could write here input voltage or just voltage. Here the Y data is IR1 or the current. Okay, so here you could write CURRENT. Okay, so just see here, for the voltage V, we are getting current of 0. For voltage of 0 0.5, we are getting this much current. For voltage 1, we are getting this much current. For 1.5 volt, we are getting this much current. Okay, so these are the values of current, and these are the values of input voltages here. Okay, so now if you want to make a graph of this thing, okay, in Excel you could do it easily. You could also take the graph from here, but here if you will take the graph, you will not be able to see the datas, okay, of here the current here directly. It is being showing here the access data. Okay, so the best part or the easy part is to move to the Excel thing only. Okay, so here for making a graph in Excel, it is very simple. Just choose the values for which you are going to make the graph. We have chosen both the columns here. Okay, and just go in the insert menu of this Excel. Afterwards, just see here, these are the recommended charts here. You could make the bar graph or other kind of graphs here. So here I'm going to choose this one. Okay, this would be the scatter graph. No, not this graph. Yeah, this graph looks good. So I'm going to just click on this thing. So just see here, we have got the graph. Okay, with all the values of data which we have got from the multisim. Here, the x-axis is showing the voltage, the y-axis is showing the current. Okay, so now you could also rename this chart thing. Okay, you could write here verification of Ohm's law chart or other thing you could write. You could also just rename the y-axis and x-axis also. Just click on this plus button, click on the axis title. Here in the this x-axis you could write here voltage, okay, or input voltage, whatever you, and here in the y-axis also just write here current, okay, just write here current, okay. And you could change the style of the graph by clicking on these different options present in the excel, okay. This will change the color of your graph, okay. It will make the graph look nice, okay. So by the help of these any three method in the multisim, you could easily find out the Ohm's law graph. And since the graph here is linear only, in the excel we are seeing is, so that means that Ohm's law is verified for the given circuit, okay. So this was the end of the experiment. I hope you understood how to verify the Ohm's law through multisim. Thank you for watching.